after Beijing conducted military drills surrounding the independent island as a stern warning in response to recent stops by Taiwanese Vice President William Lai in New York and San Francisco. The United States urged China to stop putting pressure on Taiwan. The announcement came the same day Taiwan reported that 25 Chinese Air Force aircraft had flown over the Taiwan Strait's median line in the previous 24 hours. There was no clear indication China was continuing its exercises for a second day, but a map the ministry issued showed that those aircraft included Su-30 and J-11 fighter jets. The U.S. Department of State urged Beijing to cease its military, diplomatic, and economic pressure against Taiwan and instead engage in meaningful dialogue with Taiwan, in a statement to Reuters, adding that it will continue to closely follow China's exercises. After a civil war that left the mainland under the power of the governing Communist Party, Taiwan and China divided in 1949. Although Taiwan has never been a part of the PRC, Beijing views the democratically run island as a breakaway province that may be seized by force if necessary. While Washington is Taiwan's largest supplier of weapons, and its political and military support for the territory has been a continual source of tension in its relations with Beijing, the U.S. does not maintain diplomatic connections with the island. When Nancy Pelosi, the U.S. House Speaker at the time, visited Taipei in August 2022, China denounced official contacts between the U.S. and Taiwan and began conducting its most extensive military exercises surrounding the island in recent memory. In response to Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen's meeting with current U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, while traveling through California in August, Beijing also conducted extensive military preparedness drills. Analysts claimed that China's drills on Saturday, which Beijing claimed tested its capacity to coordinate ships and aircraft and gain control of air and sea sectors, were far more understated than the two war simulations it conducted in April and August. Defense expert Alexander Neal, who is based in Singapore, told Reuters that it appeared China had adjusted the size of the drills to convey a signal while avoiding upsetting more general diplomatic efforts as Beijing and Washington strive to re-engage. These initiatives may include prospective plans for a meeting of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation later this year, where the presidents of China and the U.S. could meet. According to Neal, an adjunct fellow at Hawaii's Pacific Forum think tank, "I think after recent bilateral engagement, China probably doesn't want to rock the boat too much before APEC in San Francisco." In the meantime, Taiwanese authorities have criticized China's recent war simulations as a pretext for intimidating voters in advance of the island's presidential elections the next year. In an interview that aired late on Saturday, Taiwanese Vice President William Lai, the front-runner in the January election, said that China should not have any say in who wins. China doesn't like them right now, but they can take over the position later. This violates the democratic principles of Taiwan and does significant harm to its democratic system, he stated in the interview given last week while he was in New York. When it comes to Taiwanese politicians visiting other countries, China shouldn't make a fuss over nothing, according to Lai. From a personal standpoint, Taiwan is not a part of the PRC. Under the assurance of security, we are willing to cooperate with the international community and communicate with China. He cited wars along the Chinese coast in the 1950s when China took Taiwan-controlled islets as evidence that China has long desired to annex Taiwan, and that this desire predates the current Democratic Progressive Party (DPP) administration. The decision in this election is not between peace and war. We can't pick peace off the menu, and then there will be peace, or pick war, and then there will be war. That's not true, he continued. What it really means is that we have the freedom to select between democracy or despotism. The true decision we must make in this election is this one. In a Facebook post, a representative for Taiwan's presidential office accused China of provoking unease in an effort to influence the island's election. The importance of sustaining peace in the Taiwan Strait has been frequently emphasized by the international community, according to Olivia Lin, who urged China to halt these actions on Saturday. Joseph Wu, the foreign minister of Taiwan, stated on the X platform that China has made it clear it wants to shape the election on the island.